Hi, Maeya TV. Welcome back. I'm Jessica Haro, and I'm here with a
Bill
great
Booz.
producer, Bill Booz. Thank you for being here.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me, Jessica, and thanks to Maeya TV, Lynn Tang and her team, and also a quick shout out to Gabriel Michael of Filmmakers Digital Cafe in Tucson. Just amazing resources for helping independent filmmakers. So very nice to be here. I'm humbled and very happy to be here, Jessica.
So you're here to talk about your upcoming film, and it's a documentary, an adventure documentary. Tell us more about it.
Yeah. So Petals of Praise is my current work that I'm doing now, and it is a feature-length documentary that has 3 mountain bikers who ride 150 miles on the Maeya Trail through the breathtaking Badlands of North Dakota. And the feature is so much more than just a cinematic adventure. It's really more about people and connecting them with nature. So you have humans, you have nature, and the connection to the two is really where this documentary intersects for the most part. And it is an inspirational story as well to help people who maybe are stuck or in a rut to really just, get outside and experience adventure and live their lives to the fullest.
Well, this was an adventure for the bikers. I know it was also an adventure for you because this was your first film.
Yes, Jessica. Yeah, this is, as a first-time filmmaker, this was just as much as an adventure for me as it's going to be for you watching the film. And Petals of Praise is special because my involvement in the film was basically taking passions that I really enjoy in my life, okay? So that is mountain biking, that is traveling, that is just going on adventures where you can really push yourself as a human being and see kind of what you're made of, what are your limitations, what are your capabilities. And I think when viewers watch Petals of Praise, you're going to be not only captivated by the scenery itself, but also in the world of what is possible. Adventure is huge when it comes to personal growth. And I believe that the more you get out there, the more you learn about yourself, about the environment, just about everything about creation. And that's really the big catalyst, I believe, for human growth. And I hope that Petals of Praise inspires that in people.
Now, where did the initial idea for this film come from?
Yeah, good question, Jessica. So the initial idea was primarily from my own life and my own things that I like to do. It's funny, I often joke, my wife jokes with me, she says, you just woke up out of bed one morning and said, I want to make a film. And that is largely true, and that is largely what happened. But the idea itself came from my love from adventure, my love for mountain biking, my love for faith. I think the way to kind of encapsulate this, as you will, is in the Bible, there's a wonderful quote from Deuteronomy 1:8 says, see, I have set the land before you. Go in and take possession. And that is what this documentary is all about.
So this is a big endeavor, especially for first-time filmmaker. How did you approach this project?
Yeah, good question, Jessica. So this project, as a first-time filmmaker, was approached probably a lot differently than any other project that I've taken on. I'm a certified financial planner, investment manager by trade. And so, as you can imagine, making the shift was quite a bit of a shift for me. And my approach was very simple. It's a little daring, as you will, but I like to dream big. and I like to take massive action. And in doing so, I like to just learn along the way. So when I approached Petals of Praise, I just said, it is time to make a film. And I learned the steps that I need to learn in order to make the film. And I made every mistake that I could along the way, proudly so. But at the end of the day, I hope that, through these mistakes and through my trials and tribulations of actually making the film, I believe Petals of Praise will be better for that and more authentic.
Now, no one makes a film alone. Tell us about the crew that helped you.
Yeah, so obviously my biggest supporter, Charmaine, my wife, I could not have made this film without her, for sure. But I got very lucky. I actually made a phone call to a local bike shop in the Badlands of North Dakota and got connected with the owner, Jen Morlock. Amazing woman, by the way. And she actually connected me with the cast. There's Bob Dole and there's Kim Callahan, both of which have their own amazing stories. So there's Kim, there's Bob, there's myself. I'm in the documentary and as well as producing it. And then on the outside, there's my wife kind of acted as a bit of the assistant director. And then Eric Herr, who I originally started the script with, and he'll be doing some voiceover work for the project as well. Eric has like 30 years in broadcasting, so he was kind of my go-to person, for me being so greenhorn. and then of course Chris Dempsey, my director. Chris is amazing. He was able to just take my ideas, translate those ideas onto film, and allow things to happen during the shooting that maybe I wouldn't have been able to achieve as well. So he has the technical know-how to be able to translate and take my ideas, put them on film, and then we end up having, what I hope is a good finished product.
Now, this film you made it located in the beautiful Badlands. Tell us about what it was like to film there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Badlands in North Dakota really, really have a special place in my heart. I absolutely love the Badlands. And filming there was extra special because we had a chance, my wife and I had a chance to do something that we love, which is mountain bike in the Badlands. And when you go out to the Badlands and you kind of cross over into Medora and look over kind of that first view of the Badlands, you see just amazing natural beauty. And the hills are very colorful depending on season. They can have green and yellow and kind of like a brownish tint to them. Sometimes there's even like a little bit of a purple depending on how the sun hits the Badlands. And it is just it's a seemingly endless mountain range that just seems to go on forever. And it is so beautiful. You can be mountain biking in one section, and even though it's all the same, it's collectively the Badlands, each spot has its own unique scenic beauty. Devil's Pass has these big drop-offs, China Wall has this enormous monolith on each side that you just kind of mountain bike around. And, I think, North Dakota is one of the 50 states that not so many people go to, but when you go there and you see it and you experience the beauty of North Dakota, it is absolutely amazing. It is breathtaking. And, my goal for Petals of Praise is to translate that beauty in the film.
What were some of the challenges of filming in this remote location?
Challenges? Everything? So, yeah, we had quite a few challenges, Jessica. And the remoteness is one thing, because this is not a rails to trails thing, okay? You are in the middle of the wilderness, okay? This is, of course, God's country, and you're in the middle of nowhere. So if you break down, if you have a problem, you're on your own. So the remoteness itself is a big challenge. And then, there's other factors as well. There's things like, I can recall one day we were shooting in the wind, and I could not keep my mountain bike straight. I'm going and we're filming, and Chris is trying to direct me on doing something, and the wind just wants to take me off the ridge. So, I have a set of instructions in my mind that, I need to do based on Chris's instruction, but yet, more importantly, I have to keep my bike on the ridge. I'm hoping for no failures here as far as, going over the ridge. And so there was weather, there was remoteness. I would say those were probably the two biggest challenges of filming in the Badlands.
So what were the things that you learned as a first-time filmmaker?
Yeah, so I learned a lot. Still have the world to learn. But as a first-time filmmaker, I think, my learning process and the way I approach learning is really through trial and by doing. So I may film something, and 3 times later I may realize, okay, that's a mistake. Now the process comes, how do I correct that mistake? Now, luckily, I had a more experienced person on the set, Chris Dempsey, who was able to help me avoid some of those pitfalls. But at the end of the day, the whole process is ultimately a learning experience. And I believe it's just, getting out there and doing it, trying it, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, experimenting. As Chris sometimes tells me, directing is about learning about what should be in the frame, what shouldn't, and then the relationship to the components that are within the frame.
Were there any films that inspired you, that really influenced your vision for this?
Absolutely, yeah. So there's obviously Star Wars 7 is my favorite film of all time. I just love the way they did that. And I love the kind of the worlds that people go through. But I think for me, the closest film that I would say would be more of an influence for Petals of Praise would be James Cameron's original Avatar movie. I can recall a scene where they were just flying through the Avatar world. And Avatar's a love story, right? Petals of Praise is an adventure story and an empowerment story and an inspirational story. So I took part of what James Cameron did, which was to take a long scene, something that's 3 or 4 minutes long, and instead of having fictional characters fly through a world, I have real life characters, real people, real authentic people with real stories going through a real world. Now, when you look at the Badlands, you may think that is a fictional world because it's just so beautiful. But that was a huge inspiration to me. And I believe by, learning what the interviewers are saying on Petals of Praise, and then by shifting over to a long 3 or 4 minute ride through the, seemingly never-ending, breathtaking Badlands, that's what allows you to really immerse yourself in this documentary and experience it for what it is.
Now, tell me more about, it was like mountain biking. Tell me, what do you love about it?
Yeah, so what don't I love about it? Mountain biking is spectacular. It is the most amazing sport that I think a human being could partake in on 2 wheels. And I have been to all 50 states. I've been around the world, quite a few countries, most of the continents. And in all my travels and all of the things that I've done, hiking, rock climbing, whitewater kayaking, hanging 3,000 feet from a cliff, mountain biking is special. And the reason I think it's special is because you're out there in the Badlands or wherever you are. And it's just you, your mountain bike, the scenery, and God. And when you experience that nature and that thrill of mountain biking coming down off of a hill and just passing the most amazing, beautiful scenery, it's at those moments that I realize that I'm experiencing the very best that life has to offer. And my goal for you as the viewers, after viewing Petals of Praise, I want you to go out and create your own adventure and email me and tell me how it goes. And, engage with us and just, let us know how that adventure goes. Petals of Praise is transformational. And by you experiencing and immersing yourself in that environment, that's what really gives you the catalyst for change and growth as a human being.
Do you have any ideas for future projects?
I do, Jessica, I do. So I do have a post-apocalyptic film called The Divine Cleanse, currently in the very, very, very early development stage. There's not a whole lot on that as of yet, but I'm going to shift a little bit from documentary filmmaking to actually a script-based film for The Divine Cleanse. And I won't give away too much, but it will basically be about when human beings disobey God, the earth will naturally retaliate and tsunamis will get bigger. There will be more earthquakes. There will be more cataclysmic events that happen. And I'm going to leave it at that right now, but that's going to basically be the basis for the Divine Cleanse, which is, again, currently in the development stage. Still a lot of work to do on that one.
Where can our viewers find out more about Petals of Praise?
Yeah, so engage with us. Go to petalsofpraisefilm.com. From there, you can get updates. You can learn more about the film. You can watch our initial teaser. Sign up for our email list. And, let us know how things go. Once you watch the film, let us know if you decide to go on an adventure. Let us know how this has changed your viewpoint. I mean, as human beings, I think we all need an outlet. And adventure is not a luxury. Adventure is essential. And we need that to help us as human beings with growth and with getting out there to actually do things that not only move, touch, and inspire us, but to do something for yourself, to put yourself first.
Bill, thank you so much for being here with us and sharing your film. And viewers, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. We have more great interviews coming up on Maeya TV.